For the first day. Overall, pleased. I felt like our operation, our snaps, quarterback center exchange, quarterback running back mesh, throwing and catching was really good for the first day. A little bit sluggish. Those guys got about 8 or 10 days off before coming in here, and just a little bit sluggish, but that'll come with time. But overall, really pleased. Looked like a experienced offense coming out here. Trevor did a really good job, giving opportunities to lead. He was more vocal today than obviously he would have been day one last year. It's a completely different scenario. I think you can tell the leadership and experience that we have with that offensive line. Just really, I told those guys last night when we were meeting, our best teams and best offenses have been when we've had experienced, talented guys up front that have really led the way. We've had skill guys here for the last 8 years, but really what separated our offense has been those guys up front. And just really excited about the leadership and experience and talent we have up front, and felt like those guys probably did the best today.
Coach, when you look at the receivers that you've had and the receivers coming in, you even think about, kind of receiving corps that you had. How does it compare, as you guys, going to another year?
I was doing my kind of State of the Union for the wide receivers. We always, Coach Sweeney does his State of the Union with the team, and then we go to offensive meeting. We kind of have our words there. Then we go to the segment meeting, and I'm going back, kind of editing what I wrote in the past. And it seems like every year I'm telling these guys that we have the potential to be the best group that we've had, and I truly believe that. The key word is the potential. And last year really felt like we took a really good step forward, and this year there'll be new challenges, and Coach Sweeney does a great job of letting everybody know that we got to start over. We scored 0 touchdowns, and we got to have a big bullseye on our back, and we got to accept that. But I'm very excited about the group. I think we've got some experienced guys, older guys that have been around and been through the battles. And then I feel like we got some really good youth that's going to be able to help us. And so definitely excited. Those guys look like they put in some good work this summer, and it'll be fun to watch those guys kind of come together, the chemistry. Really pleased with DeAndre Overton. His first day, I guess he did a little bit this spring, but really kind of coming out here today, starting fall camp at 5-man, and did a really good job. Probably was one of the most consistent guys out of day one. His body's in great shape, and just really proud of how hard he's worked during his time here, and I think he could really do a good job while Amari's working his way back.
With DeAndre, what is it that's kept him from being a bigger part of the offense in the past?
Well, a little bit of it's been the guys in front of him. You got to remember that too. I think for him it's been just buying in the weight room, getting stronger, just kind of maturity to understand that what he does in the weight room is going to have an impact of him being able to get open on the field. But I think his body's in the best shape. He's stronger than he's been since he's been here. But part of it is, he's been ready to play. And when he got opportunity last year, he made some big plays. But I think with Amari going down, it's kind of the next best guy up. And right now he's in that position. He's still got to earn it all fall camp. But he's done a really good job this summer, and what I saw today.
Pretty pleased with how the rest of those guys weighed in, particularly Joe and Frank.
Yeah, I am. It's always fun to see those guys, kind of where they come in, and then what they weigh after the summer, putting in all their work. And yeah, that's okay. I don't blame him. But I think all those guys have worked hard, and that's really the big thing you're looking when you look at their weight is, did they put in the work required this summer, and off to a good start.
DeAndre's maybe not your typical slot receiver. What does he kind of bring to that position?
Yeah, I think we've had some smaller guys in there with Renfro and Adam Humphries before that, but DeAndre actually brings some things maybe that those guys didn't have with his height. You think about a lineup with T and DeAndre and Ross out there. Those are 4 big guys, and then you got a guy like Trevor to throw the ball with big catch radius. So I think that's one thing we're excited about with him is on those corner balls and maybe some of those vertical balls down the middle and dig cuts and all that. It gives you a big body. But at some point it's the next best guy, and regardless of maybe what you have a ideal maybe measurements and all that stuff for your slot guy. You know, Jerron Brown was 6'2", 6'2 and a half, and really good slot for us. So I think there's some positive that DeAndre can bring in there if he continues to work.
Jessica mentioned the O-line. You got changes. You got Sean Pollard moving over to center, and you got Jackson Carlson moving in left tackle. What about those two guys and what they bring to the game?
Yeah, number one, I think looking at their weight, you can tell that they put in some work, and that's been a big thing for Jackson. Obviously, he's a talented guy, but really, you know, you got to take care of his body and cut down some weight, and so that was one of the biggest positives for yesterday's play was Jackson losing that weight. Pollard also lost some weight, being able to move in there and play center. And Pollard's a guy that's been able to move around. You know, he's one of those rare linemen that could really play center, guard, and tackle. Those guys are very valuable, and you know, so I think he does a good job. He's a vocal guy. He's a leader. He likes to talk and communicate, which is very important. But you know, I'd lie if I got to say I got to watch those guys a whole lot. I was out there chasing my wideouts, but we're getting ready to go watch the video, and it'll be fun to see. You know, one side you're losing some of those veteran guys we've had, and now it's a new opportunity for guys like Jackson and Jordan McFadden's another guy that's you know, had a really good spring, good summer. It'd be fun to watch him here on video.
What's Cornell's mindset coming off of his redshirt year?
Yeah, I think Cornell, he's been patient. You know, it's all about how you respond, and you know, kind of having to sit back and watch last year, I know was difficult for him, but he used that time wisely. He really worked hard last year. He bought into going over on the scout team, giving those guys a look. And Cornell had a really good day today. He ran some good routes, caught the ball very well. And, he's another guy. Him, Cornell, T.J. Chase, and DeAndre Overton are three guys that really been around here, kind of working and getting ready to earn some time, earn some opportunity. And I'm pleased with what they've done so far.
Continue to use him on kick returns.
Yeah, he'll be a guy. We haven't got to that yet. Today was just a punt and field goal, but Cornell will be a guy that'll be in that mix with some of the new young guys that are here as well.
The potential of this group, obviously, you got the college group, but as a coach, where do you want to see that group? Like, are there areas where you see?
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely. Like, whenever you stop looking for ways to improve, that's when you start going backwards. And I think every guy, that's what's fun as a coach, is every guy in that room is a little bit different maybe than the true freshmen that just come in here. You know, a guy like T and Ross, they both have things that they need to work on, and you know, really it gets down to the details in their route running, their break points, when they get their eyes around, the timing, understanding different release moves, all those things. But number one, it takes them having a hunger to improve, knowing that they need to improve, and always working to strive to get better, which they do. And then number two, it's you know, coming out here and kind of putting that to work. And I saw some good things out of those guys, but obviously very high standard for them. Anytime we don't complete the ball, I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened, and that's really the standard you want with your top guys.
What did you see from Latson and Gata Spector today? Were they where you thought?
Yeah, you know, and Spector's a guy that we're kind of moving around a little bit. He played a lot of 5 in the spring, and we're letting him get some work at 9-man of the boundary. He's going to be a big, strong guy, and he really looked good today for his first day there on the boundary. And Frank and Joe, you know, I think they don't look like true freshmen. I have to remind myself that, you know, this is their first fall camp, and they look like they've been here for a year, and they just fit right in, and you know, did a great job today. So that's one thing that's fun as a coach. You got some older guys that have been here, then you got some younger guys, and you know, those older guys are pulling those younger guys up, and you know, we got one-on-one. There's plays all over the place, and I think it'd be fun to watch those guys in fall camp, kind of how they improve. The fall camp's different than spring ball. Spring ball, you get a day off in between. Fall camp, it's a grind. You know, it's 27 days. You got to take care of your body, and you know, there's some maturity that comes with that. But that's really what fall camp's all about. Is kind of developing mental toughness, and you know, taking care of your body and understanding that you don't have to play when you're sore and all those things. So we'll kind of see how they handle that. But I expect them to do well with that.
Where you start with Latson and Gata?
Yeah, Latson is playing in the boundary, and Joseph is to the field. So Frank's behind T in the boundary, and then Joe's playing behind Ross. to the field right now.
You lost Galloway at tight end. You got some veterans back at that position, but how realistic is it to think that Davis Allen or Jalen Lay, one of those freshmen, could have an impact?
Well, I think they're going to have an impact because they're going to play, just because of where our numbers are. It was good to see Jalen. Jalen made some catches today. That was a positive. And then, Davis is kind of coming back, got a little injury. He's kind of working through, but, probably the biggest noise that we heard from the summer was just how quickly Davis Allen was picking things up. Very mature kid, and I'll be excited to get him out here because, I've heard a lot of really good things from some of our veteran guys. J.C. Chalk did a good job just kind of from his experience and coming out here running with that group. So, we always lose guys, don't want to lose them. But, I really hate for Braden even more than us because, he's put himself in a position to have a great year. But, he'll use this year to get better. And I think it'll be good for those young guys to learn about fire a little bit later on in their career.
Jeff, I'm sorry if you've been asked this before, but
It's
with
okay.
Travis and Trevor both considered, both talked up like Heisman candidates at this time of the year, do you see any negative aspect of that kind of thing? How do you think those guys will?
Well, I think it's just what you say. It's about the person. And Trevor and Travis, they're both very humble guys. They're always talking about their teammates more than anything else. And that's really one of the things that I talked about in our first offensive meeting. And it really was just kind of complimenting those guys, really all the guys on offense, for really talking about their teammates and never making it up. And that's one thing we talk about Clemson DNA, and then for us, the Clemson offensive DNA. We've had a lot of talented guys come through that have had all of the preseason awards and a lot of attention, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, it's never been about the individual. It's always been about the team success over the individual success. And I think that's part of our kind of secret sauce, if you will. And but it's great when those guys are getting those accolades, are very humble, hardworking, and really take all that attention and put it towards their teammates. And that's refreshing in the year 2019 because all you got to do is get on Twitter and all that. And I think unfortunately we've taken self-promotion and called it branding, where it's okay, but it's still kind of makes me disappointed to see all the self-promotion out there in sports by players and coaches. But I think we do a really good job. These guys do a great job of really pushing that attention to their teammates. And what we've said is if everybody worries about doing their job, then that stuff will come in time. And I truly believe that. And but you can't focus on that. That can't be your decision making as coaches or as players. It's just got to happen naturally. And I think those guys will handle that well.
Do you urge the guys to stay away from promotion and branding and things like that?
There's a fine line. I think our guys do a pretty good job with it. We have the little photo shoot where they get to go take their pictures and do that stuff. But I think it's the biggest thing is what's the message when they get an opportunity to talk to the media and all that. Are they talking about themselves? I told them the quote from Walter Payton. He said that good players talk about themselves. Great players have other people talk about them. And I think that's really what you want to see from your guys. But it really starts with Coach Sweeney. He does an awesome job of just allowing no entitlement. And the guys that we recruit into this program, really, we don't have a big problem with that. And there is a place for the branding and kind of using your opportunity with football to help you in your career. But, I personally think that, you can be confident but humble at the same time. And I would hope that that's what describes a lot of our current guys here and a lot of these stars that we've had in the past.